Good morning, children. This is Karan sir. I welcome you all in this online class of Scottish Public School. Today we are going to complete our first chapter of class 8. It was Geography chapter 1, Our Resources. So I had already given 3 classes on in this chapter. Today I hope that we will be able to conclude this. We'll be able to wrap this chapter up. So everybody please go to the page number 137. We are going to study this topic, our resources, again, and today it will be the last lecture, I believe, of this chapter. Our resources. So here in this part of the chapter we are going to study about the rate at which, I beg your pardon, human-made resources. What are human-made resources? The resources which are developed by the humans are known as human-made resources. There are 2 types of resources. One is natural resource and another is human-made resources or man-made resources. So these resources are created by human beings from the materials available in the environment. They in turn are used for the production of other resources. Tools, machines, buildings and other infrastructure are all examples of the human-made resources. It means these kind of resources are developed by the humans with the help of the things available in the nature. You can take an example of a car, tools, building, electric fan, television, whatever we have. These all are developed from the natural resources. We have taken the raw material from somewhere available in the nature. The rate of which resources are produced is called productivity. At what pace, at what speed we are producing the products, that rate is known as productivity. Got my point? This is a vital point. You have to understand it. What is productivity? The question may arise. You have to write the answer. The rate at which the resources are produced is known as the productivity. Productivity depends on the level of the technology used, the law and order situation, the political, social institution and the infrastructure available. It means what will be the productivity, how fast the production can be done. It depends upon the law and order situation, infrastructure and the social institutions, the technology used. Suppose that if we are doing something manually by our hands, it will take a longer period of time to complete the task. But if we will do the same task with the help of machines can do more faster, or they can perform the same thing in a very quick period of time. Conservation of resources. Now after studying all these resources, like there are so many kind of resources, like natural resources, man-made resources, renewable resources, non-renewable resources, ubiquitous resources, localized resources. A lot of things are there. Actual resources, potential resources. Now after going and coming to know about all of this, we have to understand why it is important to conserve our resources. Whatever resources we have in nature, we have to take proper care of them. We have to be very careful about them, because suppose that we take example of water. If water is available today, we cannot keep on wasting water uselessly, because at one point of time there will be no water left. Underground level water will be decreased. So there are many places where the scarcity of water is there. The people are suffering due to this. Forest, if you take example of forest, if you don't take care of forest, if we keep on deforesting our forest, then what will happen? One day there will be no wild animals left, and the forest, the things which we are getting from the forest will not be able to avail the same kind of things. So it is very important to save and safeguard, protect our all the resources. Conservation means to protect something. In early humans used the gifts of the nature to satisfy their needs, which were very simple. In ancient times, when there were early humans on the earth, they used to use the natural resources very less the way we are using it today. They just used as much as they needed to fulfill their necessities, to fulfill their requirements. Those were very simple requirements. As population increased in the society, made progress, human needs became very complex. In earlier time, we needed only basic infrastructural requirement. What are the basic things that we need to live or to survive our life? Those were shelter, clothes and food. That is also known as roti, kapra and makan. These three things were required in earlier days, but today we need so many things. We need house, we need cars, we need luxury lives, AC, air coolers, television, fan, electricity, mobile phone, internet, data, laptop, computer, etc. A lot of things we need. But this was not the scenario 50 years or 100 years back. 100 years back, people used to have simple life. They used to live very, very simple life. They used to cook on the fire, and they used to have very simple kind of food, used to wear simple kind of clothes, just simple dhoti and kurta, and eating habits were quite healthy. The food quality, there was no food adulteration, no pesticides and insecticides were put into the crops, so that the food quality was also healthy, life was healthy. People used to live for 100 years. Now the life expectancy of Indians has gone very down. It is somewhere 68, 64, 65 years. Why it is so? Because of the food, the kind of food we are consuming today is not healthy not good for health. Along with that, our habits, our lifestyle has become very complex. We all have become rest-loving people. We try to take as much rest as we can, but that is not good for the health, because we have to burn our calories. Whatever calories we are consuming in the form of food, we have to burn the calorie from our body, so that our body may stay healthy. So our requirements have become more complex. Human needs became very complex. The natural resources now came to be used on a much larger scale. Misuse or overuse of many valuable resources like soil and water have led to their degradation. Humans are using our soil or land in such a way that it has started degrading. Degrading means, suppose that it was performing here, now after 50 years back it was performing like performance was here, now its performance is here. It means it has decreased, it has degraded, it is not able to suppose that give you the same kind of fertility. Okay, because we are using or misusing, overusing the resources. We are putting insecticide, pesticide into the soil, and the soil becoming very ill, or they are sick. They are not able to deliver as much crops as it was earlier. So what is happening? Many plant and animal species have become endangered and are on the verge of becoming extinct. A lot of animal species are extinct or they are endangered. Endangered means they are at the edge of getting extinct. They will be finished. There will be no not a single number of a particular animal available on this planet. For any sort of development to take place, it is necessary to utilize resources. However, overutilization and the indiscriminate consumption of resources leads to the environmental and the socio-economic problems. So if we will develop in a way where the environment or our natural things getting affected, then that kind of development is not good for us. In a long term, it is going to harm our lifestyle. Therefore, we should use all the natural resources wisely in a well-planned manner, utilizing natural resources judiciously and giving them time to get replenished. It's called conservation of resources. Suppose that if there is a mango tree, you are eating mangoes. Whenever the mango tree is giving mangoes, you are eating. But if you will cut that mango tree, what will happen? You will not be able to consume the mangoes again, because you have just overused or misused the mango tree. Sustainable development. Sustainable development means, what is the meaning of sustainable development? Development that takes place without damaging the environment, and that which meets the needs of the present and preserves the resources for the future generation. It means we have to take the steps for the development in such a way that it does not hamper or does not harm the environment, and it fulfills the requirement of the present generation, also reserve something for the coming generations. That kind of development is known as sustainable development. It means, you can say, using the resources wisely and judiciously is known as sustainable development, where we are developing but we are not harming anything. Suppose that there is a tree near my house and I need to make a new room. I want to expand my house. So I should make my room in such a way so that I do not need to cut the tree. I should go on the first floor. I should make my room on my roof, not on the ground, so that I will be avoiding the any kind of loss to the tree. I should protect the tree, because that tree is providing us many things: oxygen, fresh air, shadow. It is helping us to reduce the temperature in the summer days. If you will see that where there the trees are, you can see there will be less temperature in the summer days. So these are some of the cardinal rules that we must follow. There are some sort of rules or the practices. By using them, by following them, we can conserve our environment and conserve our natural resources. How can we do that? Use all the renewable resources in sustainable manner. Use all the renewable resources in such a way that they should not degrade. Minimizing the depletion of the natural resources. We have to take care of the proper use so that this will not degrade, or it will not you can say that it is by keeping all the sources safe and we are using the resources. Conserve the varied species of the living organisms. The kind of birds, animals we are having in our environment today, it is our responsibility. We humans are responsible for saving all those creatures along with us, because without birds, without animals, we also cannot survive. Birds are protecting the crops from the insects. This is how the birds are our friends. They are helping the crops to grow at their level best, where they are eating the insects, small insects into the crops. Insects are eating the crops and birds are eating the insects. So they are protecting our crops so that we are able to consume our wheat, rice, whatever we are getting. So we have to take care of all the species that we have in our nature. Do not cause any harm to the natural environment. Whatever natural environment we are having, like forest, trees, rivers, mountains, desert, plateaus, plains. We have to take care of them. Enable communities to care for their own environment. We people have to take care of our environment because we all are aware of the global warming. What is global warming? The increasing temperature on the earth's surface due to the depletion in the ozone layer that is causing the snow at the poles toward the Antarctic Circle or Arctic Circle. Towards the North Pole, the snow or the ice is getting melted. One day it will sink all the coastal or the island countries. So it is very, very dangerous threat for all of us, for the humanity on the earth. So it is our responsibility to reduce the level of the carbon dioxide, carbon emission. We have to reduce it. We have to, how can that do that? We can do that by cycling, by walking on foot. We should avoid using motor cars, vehicles, bus, or the things, the motor cars, those who are emitting carbon dioxide. So that is harming the ozone layer, and the temperature of this planet is getting increased every year. A survey says that we are getting 1.5 degrees Celsius more temperature every next year. It means if the situation goes like this, there is the day is not very far when we will have to go through the 50 degrees Celsius temperature in our area. So that we have to keep in mind. The future of the earth therefore depends on how judiciously we use our natural resources so that the present rate of the development is maintained as well as the environment is preserved. Whatever development we want to do, we want to achieve the development, we have to keep that in mind. All the development is useless if our nature, our environment is not okay. So this concludes the chapter. Now you have to read these important terms, recap. Along with that A, B, C and D, I hope you all have met it. Today, I am giving you a little bit of exercise you have to do at your home in your rough notebook. You will try to make E, F by yourself. If you are capable enough, you can go for the G also. G number question where you have to write the answers in 80 to 100 words. You can attempt it. But don't forget, I will provide you the PDF of this chapter. I will give you the question answers. After matching those question answers in the next class, you will write it down in your fair notebook. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Stay safe. Stay home. Thank you.